breakfast. Today I'm going to show you how I made sprema Medenjake cookies for the holiday celebrations. I learned to make this recipe from a Serbian YouTube channel called Just Kate Bake. And it's been one of my favorite things to do is to watch Serbian YouTube channels. Kind of helps me learn my Serbian, and my husband sure enjoys the yummy things I make. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, first of all we're going to add the dry ingredients together. Brašno, šećer, začina za medenjak, and soda bicarbonate, baking soda, gingerbread spice, sugar, and flour. I had to make my own gingerbread spice because I could not find it in the grocery stores that we were able to go to. It's just a combination of clove, ginger, cinnamon. Pretty easy to make, thank goodness. Now we're going to add the liquid ingredients, which is mleko and ulja, milk and oil. One thing to note is that cup measurement in Serbian is only 200 milliliters, whereas an American cup is about 237 milliliters, I believe. So, had to do a little bit of converting, but I figured it out. And now we're going to mix this up, and this mixing takes quite a while because you've got to get it mixed up really good. Christmas baking has always been one of my favorite things. It's always been a tradition in our household. I grew up with 3 sisters, so we did lots of baking at Christmas time. It's kind of nice to look out the window and see snow and have an oven warm and sweet smelling in your house. The next ingredients that's going to go in here is cocoa powder. I didn't measure this cocoa powder. It takes about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I just poured it in. Part of it's for flavor and part of it's for color. So now we're going to mix this in well. And then the next ingredient I'm going to add is 5 tablespoons of cassia marmalade, apricot jam. I was so happy when I found that I had apricots frozen in my freezer, so I made homemade apricot jam. And now we're going to add this in and mix it up well. And I would say that my 5 kashikas or 5 tablespoons are pretty big tablespoons of cassia marmalade, but makes it delicious. Now that we have that all mixed up well, like a cake batter, we're going to spread half of the batter out on a cookie sheet that's been lined with baking paper. I spread this out about a 1/4 of an inch thick, and we're going to, once it's all spread out, bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 5-10 minutes. We want it to have a crust on top, to be firm on top. Okay, now it's come out of the oven, and now we're going to smear or spread another 5 tablespoons of cassia marmalade, apricot jam. One of the things I didn't remember to do is melt or cook the marmalade a little bit. It would maybe spread a little bit easier, but since my cookie was warm, it warmed it and spread, but you could actually heat it up in a pan so that it would brush on a little bit easier. Maybe not quite so thick, but again, I like cassia apricots, so made the cookies really delicious. And then I'm going to spread over grated 100 grams of grated chocolate. The first time I made these, I actually grated the chocolate. This time I only chopped it. I'm going to say that my grated chocolate spread more evenly through the cookies, so next time I will grate it like my original process. But this way you get a few little chunks in each cookie every once in a while, so that wasn't so bad either. And now we're going to take the rest of the batter and spread it over the top. This way, once you spread this over the top, it'll go back in the oven for another 15 minutes. Mostly important just to get all the chocolate sealed in. So you'll see I cover it all the way to the edges because you kind of want to seal the crust on the top of all that filling. Okay, now once it has baked and cooled for a little bit, I now am going to cut it into the shapes. Since it's Christmas holiday, Bozich, I actually had a Christmas tree cookie cutter that I used. So I'm going to cut it, and in the pan there I have melted chocolate, milk, and margarine. And so since it's a little sticky, it's a little tricky to get out of those cookie cutters. But now dip it in the chocolate. Oops. Dip it in the chocolate, set them out to dry, and the process begins. And as you can tell, this is a very slow process. So I say these cookies are made with lots of love. And I put them in the refrigerator to chill. And I stored them in the refrigerator. And here you can see I'm doing the Christmas trees. One thing to note is that it takes a lot of chocolate. And also you'll notice, you can note that if you watch the Just Kate Bake version of these cookies, she, when she's done with them, actually pipes on a little bit of milk chocolate to decorate the hearts and the trees, which makes them really pretty. I wasn't quite that ambitious. But that tray of baked cookie Medenjake makes a lot of cookies. And see, I changed it up. I decided to do hearts for a little bit too. So here are the hearts. One thing to say is that maybe if I hadn't put quite so much marmalade in the middle, they wouldn't have stuck to the cookie cutters quite so bad. The other thing I will say is the stuff that comes out from in between the cookies and the edges also still tastes pretty good. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see Frances bake some more, please leave some comments, or if you have any suggestions of things that I should be baking to experience the Serbian culture more, please let me know. Thanks for watching.